Hey Tim,
Hey, Damon, what's up, buddy?
how are you, man? Hang on one
I'm
second.
doing good. How are you?
I'll get you some video.
All right.
Let me let me get my these little headphones plugged in. I think these things will sound better for you as well as me. All right, 2 seconds, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm in California right now, so
That was
um,
my that
it,
was
it,
my next question.
yeah, it is. It's pretty amazing out here, man. Yesterday it was 80.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Are you in Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm in Tennessee, man. I'm at my
I'm,
house in Nashville.
my buddy, he lives out there. He's telling me it's cold as balls, man.
Well, it's a gorgeous day today, and
Yeah.
man, yeah, it feels incredible. The snow is all off the roads, and you know, it's it feels good, man. Yeah, we were kind of everybody was stuck inside for the better part of the last week. That's pretty unusual for down here.
No way. Is that how it happens? Like if it gets so cold, do they just cancel everything? Like school and work and whatever?
To tell you the truth, Tim, we rarely have a winter event like the one that we had last week.
Uh-huh.
Conditions were just right that the ice got on the roads the first day, and then like 2 days later we got 5 more inches of snow. So for us that was like a 1-2 punch. And um we just they can keep the stuff off of the interstates and the main roads, but it's these, man, you got to take a couple of side roads to get back to this subdivision where we live. And man, we couldn't get down the street, you know. it was it
Do
was
you ever
crazy.
get? I remember one time I was driving. I was up stationed in Whidbey Island. I was trying to come back to California, and I got stuck in Oregon, and it was to a point where we couldn't. I couldn't move. I just got. Uh, I just like literally. I only can go maybe a half a block or a block and a half one way, and a half block the other way, and I just had to hunker down in a church parking lot in my car. Does it get like that where you just can't move?
Well, um I'm sure there's some situations where people had that, they could relate to that story you just told. um the biggest thing we felt fortunate about was to have power. We never lost power.
Mhm.
um Obviously, man, we were paying attention to our friends in Texas. They went through something excruciating. So there's no doubt, man, for it to be, I think it's 61 here today, which is, it's just incredible. I just ran a couple of errands, and I was worried I was going to be late getting back to your interview. I'm like, well, I'm going to talk to my man Tim, and I'm going to get out here on the street and go for a walk, dude. This weather is too killer.
Well, I had a chance to listen to the whole album, Battle Lessons. It is amazing, man. I love it. My favorite song on the album was Shadow Country.
Yeah, thank you.
It really just that one called me. I probably listened to it about 100 times.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Tim. That's a special song. That is the only song out of the batch that was not written when we first started with my producer buddy, Nick Raskulinix, back in, I guess, March of last year. And, man, because of the pandemic, because of shelter in place restrictions, we were forced to kind of make the record in sections. We did 3 songs at a time. So we did the first 3 songs, and then that's all we could get done. We had to shut down. So to Nick's credit, he said to me, hey man, why don't you try to write something else? He goes, we got so many killers. He goes, what if you could write one more that you feel like is as quality as the ones we already have? And I don't think Shadow Country would exist if he hadn't have pointed me in that direction. I just remember, this is kind of the downstairs of my house, and I've got a little table over there with my laptop, and this is where I make demos. And I just remember, man, being overjoyed at Shadow Country as it was starting to come together. it's really a different song, as you can tell, man. I mean, it starts out with that heavy riff and a cool lyric, and then right in the middle, man, we shift gears into this weird kind of tempo change, and it's kind of King Crimson sound, early Soundgarden. It's not. I've never written a song like that, so really proud of that one.
Well, I enjoyed it, and it made this meeting and interview that much more exciting for me.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you.
So let's is this album Battle Lessons? Is this a COVID album?
No, it's not a COVID album.
So you were planning this prior?
No, everything was done prior. Yeah.
Okay.
All the songs except for Shadow Country were written pre-COVID, and it is interesting how some of the lyrics could be taken as associating with this crazy year. Not just with the pandemic, but it's been a crazy year for the United States of America.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until some friends of mine pointed it out, they were like, wow, man, that could have related to the election or to the post-election chaos. And I'm very political in my personal life. I'm not very political in my songwriting, but it'll be interesting, when we can finally get out and start playing some shows that, I get inside the songs even more as we perform them. So as we get some repetition in there, I start to kind of have even my own different interpretation about what the lyric means to me. Yeah.
That's fucking cool. I never thought about that. I mean, that's and you can forge it. You know what I mean? By you doing that, it's forging the meaning of it to you.
Totally, man. I never was one to ask or want to know what my favorite songs were necessarily about. Even going back to my teenage years and just classic bands of that time, I just know that it made me feel something. And I would, as I think most listeners do, you find a way to apply it to your own life or a situation you're in. And hey, man, music is therapy. It is for me, and I know it is for some other people. So I think it's one of the most fulfilling things about being an artist is you can express yourself with an idea and finish that song. And a year later, it can take on a totally different meaning for me, the guy that came up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe like a paint, like a painter, they paint on the canvas and they're in a headspace as they're painting it. And then as little time and perspective, they can step back and go, oh, okay, now I know what I was thinking, or I know what this is now. I wasn't sure 6 months ago, but now I know.
I definitely, I can get behind that, because throughout life you listen to certain songs and you might not know the lyrics from, but you sort of sing along, and sometimes even when you're singing along to those songs, you're getting the lyrics wrong. And like, for instance, Radiohead, Karma Police. Well, when I was a little kid and I was listening to that, I was in my childhood was fairly rough. I had parents who were abusers of substances, and there would always be fighting in my house. So I heard that song and I thought, oh, that means call the police. Call the police is what I thought it was saying. And so I was always thinking, like, oh shit, are they gonna fight? Is my parents gonna fight right now? Oh, I need to call the police. And I would grab my brothers and sisters and sing that song in the closet. Call the police, arrest this man, that kind of shit.
That is incredible, man. Well, let me say, first of all, I'm sorry you went through that. And secondly,
thank you. I
bet in a very real way, you felt some comfort from that song.
Yes.
I can't imagine being in that situation, but I just know that, man, I know that when I've been through some real, my own struggles or trials, once I'm able to kind of get past it, it never fails, Tim. I'll come across a song just either it doesn't have to be one I've even heard before. Maybe it's a new song, maybe it's an artist from my past, and I find some deep cut. And man, I'll find a song that will just turn me on my head. I'll just be like, wow, where has that song been my whole life? Or how could that songwriter have any clue that he could paint this picture and it would just hit the nail on the head for what I'm feeling or what I'm afraid of or what I'm struggling with? Man, that power is what keeps me in this, bro. That knowing that I can make sense of life myself through my own songwriting is what keeps me in it. And the greatest payoff ever in my career, beyond popularity or monetary gain or anything, the greatest payoff is when you have a chance to talk to someone that says, hey, that song on your record about whatever, man, thank you. It really meant a lot to me. That's the best. That's just, there's nothing better than that. I'm
Imagine.
sure, I'm sure that if Tom York heard your story, he would be humbled and he would say thank you, because there's no way he could have imagined that song when he wrote it, that it would mean something to someone like yourself in that moment or in that struggle.
And then, a few years later in college, I was dating some girl and then I realized exactly what it means, karma police. I was like, oh shit, this whole time I was thinking call the police.
Yeah.
And then a girl that I was seeing in college, she cheated on me. And so every time to this day, every time I hear that song, it's like, bitch, you're gonna get your karma.
That
And
is, yeah. See, then the actual intended lyric is also a slam dunk for you. So yeah, that's powerful stuff.
I in other interviews, I've heard you speak about your father, and it seems your parents were very influential on your musical career. But the way you speak of your father as if he was a hero, or he is a hero, which all of our dads, are heroes, and his friends that would play are heroes. Um, what was the most exciting moment for your dad of you being, I mean, a rock star? Excuse me, hold on real fast.
No sweat, man. No problem.
All right, cool. Thank you. Sorry. All right, I'm back.
No problem, man. No problem. Um, what a great question. I've never been asked that, and I have the absolute answer. Uh, you know, my dad, I just sent him the new record, by the way, and you know, it's way heavier than anything I've recorded as a solo artist ever. So I can only imagine him riding around the country over there in Georgia with the, talk yourself into anything blasting through the speakers of his pickup truck. But, um, Tim, I had a really incredible thing happen. I had just joined Alice Cooper's band in 2004. And every year around the holidays, Alice has his big charity event that's called Christmas Pudding. And each year he'll have different friends of his, other, you know, well-known famous singers and entertainers or bands or whatever, come and participate in this thing, and they raise money for his charity. Well, man, that very first year that I joined the band, we would always go and back up Coop, and sometimes we would play behind some other artists that would come. Like we played with Dee Snider one year, we played with Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. Well, this first year, one of the guests was Don Felder from the Eagles.
Oh,
and you cannot put a measurement on how many times in my childhood I heard that Eagles greatest hits record from front to back on the record player in our dining room in that little house we lived in. So I called my dad. I said, "You're not going to believe this, but Don Felder is going to perform at Alice's charity event, and Don wants me to play the harmony guitar part on Hotel California with him.
Oh my God.
So my stepmom said that might be the fastest plane ticket my dad has ever purchased in his life. You know, like the phone didn't even cool off. He probably hung up with me and picked up and called Southwest Airlines and said, I need a flight to Phoenix on this date, and this is my return, and I want it right now. So he was there, man. He came out to Phoenix, and I got to introduce my dad to Don, and it was just, Don was incredible. What a good guy. What a cool, just a good human being, and obviously a a hero for me and my dad. So that was really special.
That's an amazing story out there. I fucking love that.
I fucking love that too, bro.
I mean, what more? I mean, is there anything else like that right there? It seems like the pinnacle of a father-son, like it can't like because I know that CD. Like, there's two cassettes that we would listen to in my household. One of them was Eagles' Greatest Hits, and the other one was Toys and Attic.
Yeah, dude.
The two that were playing at my house on constant, and then an Elton John album too. So there's three. It was constant, and every Saturday morning when you hear one of those songs go on, it's time to clean the house, or we're not going nowhere. We're not gonna do nothing, or you're gonna get your ass whooped. So you better get out of bed.
Damn, that makes me think of another little story. I'll make it short, but my dad it would frustrate him that we were so hard to get out of bed in the morning for school. Like, it used to really drive him crazy. Like, if you didn't get up with your own alarm clock, he would just bust open the door, turn on all the lights, and get up, let's go.
That's my dad.
Yeah. So he got really clever and decided, instead of working so hard, this was in the mid-70s, brother. He went to the store and he bought the soundtrack to the movie Rocky, the first Sylvester Stallone, the classic Sylvester Stallone film. And that theme song, dude, he would drop the needle on that record. He would crank that volume up. He would open all the kids' doors, and he would just let that song play, and he would go on about his business. And it used to drive us crazy, man. but it worked. It worked. Everybody got out of bed, just get out of bed, put on some clothes so somebody can go turn that damn record off, because it was crazy. Fun stuff, man.
Yeah. In the summertime, he would go to work and we'd be off. But hey, if you're not up by the time he's going to work, there's going to be some problems. So
yeah,
he'd get a super soaker and then just start spraying us with water until we got up, man. I'm going to go back to bed once you leave.
I know a thing or two about that. That's right. Yeah, it's wild, man. Because it's interesting we're talking about this, because I have 5 kids of my own over the course of 2 marriages, and I was lucky, man. I had all those kids with 2 really incredible women, great mothers, and just good people. And now I have a granddaughter. My oldest gave us our first grandchild back in this past December. She turned 1. So it's one of my proudest, I guess. All the kids love music so much, and they're all into different stuff, at different genres. But I just know, like, the same for me when I was a kid growing up around so much music that my parents had, my kids went through that exact experience. And, it's fun now to spend time with them, maybe be in the car, I'll ride with them, and just to see what they turn on, if it's Sirius XM radio or maybe they're streaming from their phone, over the Bluetooth, and it's incredible, man. It's incredible. And I guess in a way, this new album, Battle Lessons, is extra special for me because the only real goalposts I set for myself was I want to try and feel about this record, the songs on this record, the way I felt about my favorite bands when I was a teenager, like 18, 19, 20, because that was the pinnacle of the hard rock thing for me. I was obsessed with it, Tim, obsessed, playing guitar every day, really starting to get better. I could tell I was getting better. My friends could tell I was really starting to figure some stuff out. So it was so steeped in Van Halen, Aerosmith, Thin Lizzy, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. And I guess more than what we were talking about earlier about the lyrics meaning different things at different times, man, I'm enjoying listening to the record myself right now, just putting it on for my own listening enjoyment. So I hear all those influences, and my kids hear that. They can tell. They're like, "Oh, Dad, that sounds like a Joe Perry riff off of Toys in the Attic right there." And I'm like, "Yeah, it does." Yeah. So I relate, man. It's just, I know we kind of went down a rabbit hole there about family and music, and and that's what Battle Lessons is for me, brother. It's just, and guess what? The incredible result is I've never been more proud of anything I've ever done. It's arguably one of the best things I've ever done. I've been in this business a long time, brother. That is saying something for me to feel that way, and it's being reciprocated by my fan base, which is exciting for me as well.
Battle Lessons. Is this about the lessons you've learned through life? Is that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally, man. I didn't overthink that. My great friend, one of my best friends, Jim Troglin, he and I co-wrote most of these songs. And the great thing about writing with Jim is he can send me what is almost a complete idea, and I can take it and flip it upside down and cut it up and move it around and change the key, or play it faster or slower. There's no rules. He never gets frustrated or like, "Hey man, don't mess it up. I like it this way and now you're doing it that way." There's never any of that. So Battle Lessons was a completely different song. Lyrically, he had sent me a complete lyric, and I couldn't make sense of the lyric, Tim, but it had that killer riff. He made a little demo on his phone and he sent it to me, and I'm like, "Wow, that sounds like The Trooper by Iron Maiden." I hope we don't get plagiarized, get sued for plagiarizing, But man, I sat right over here at my desk one day, and I had the demo on he sent me. I had my guitar in my hand, and those lyrics just fell out of my mouth. "So careless in the way you talk. It's sad how you break a boy in two." And I was like, wow, that really matches the energy of this track, And just right there, that opening line, Tim, I started thinking about experience. I started thinking about struggles, wins and losses, successes and failures. I've had a mountain of both. Those are battle lessons. I wish I could tell you that I saw those two words in a book somewhere, or somebody said it in a movie, or it just kind of came out of my head, battle lessons. I was like, well, if I can fit that into the lyrics somewhere, that could be cool. And little did I know at the time, man, that it would be the first single, that it would be the title of the whole album. I just thought it was perfect. I thought it was the perfect title. Very powerful.
Damon, it is very powerful.
Thank you.
All right, I got a couple more for you. Um, what is left for you? You've, I mean, you've done so much in your career. Um, you grew up to be a rock star, which I don't think is possible anymore for now generation to be rock stars. Um, you've played with some of your, you know, the people you admire the most in music. You've learned so much. What is left, and how do you want to be remembered when the sun sets for you?
Two great questions, Tim. Thank you for asking me that. I have an answer to both of those. What's left for me is I want to grow this solo thing. I would like to I would like to grow just being Damon Johnson and singing my songs, telling my stories. I'm grateful to have so much music in my past that I can draw from and make it part of the show. But what's left for me, man, is I want to crank out 6 more records in the next 10 years. And I want them all to be the same quality that Battle Lessons is. I'd like to build it, man, to where I could take this incredible band that I have. One thing I wanted to do all the way back at the start of Brother Kane, Tim, is I wanted us to have a business, you know, a little company where it was the 4 of us and our manager and our road crew. I wanted to take care of that road crew for the rest of their lives, you know, the way Pearl Jam does their crew or the way the Grateful Dead did their crew. There's a lot of examples of that because, you know, rock and roll is a lifestyle. It requires a lot of time away from your family. But man, if you can be with people that you can count on and that you respect and you love, what a win-win for everyone, the people on the road and the people at home. So that's one thing I've never really achieved, man. How incredible that would be that, you know, Robbie and Jared, they could just, you know, be in the get ready for the rest of their life, for the rest of their career, man. They're in Damon Johnson's rhythm section. Man, I would love to take care of those guys. I'd love for us to grow it, you know. It'd be great to get back on a tour bus, have a couple guys to help us, you know. And you know, right now we're having a blast because we operate lean and mean, and you know, we're super efficient, and you know, we're unstoppable. I'm never afraid of hard work. I would just like to bring more people into this with us and they could experience it and have fun with it. I'd like to achieve that, Tim, before my time on this earth is done. The answer to your second question is very simple, man. I would just love to be remembered as being authentic. I would want people to go, hey, that guy, Damon Johnson, he was an authentic artist, singer, songwriter, guitarist, family man, authenticity, man. I'm uh, I'm committed to it. I don't always succeed, but I think that's what it's all about.
Amazing, dude. Um, is there anything else that the listeners or I should know about this album that I might have overlooked?
Well, let me say, first of all, man, I really appreciate you having me on today. And you've asked some great questions. This has been very thoughtful, and I've enjoyed it. I think people listening would, if they don't know, man, they would be interested to know that, you know, I am a fully independent artist. I'm putting these records out on my own imprint, Double Dragon Records. There's no label, there's no big team. I'm grateful to have an awesome manager and a great agent, you know, that's making some progress, man. You know, with this potential to get some shows going this late spring and early summer. So obviously we're thrilled at that. But brother, we're a homegrown operation. And uh
That's beautiful,
my
too.
yeah, me and my wife and my 2 kids that are still at home, you know, man, we've been sticking CDs in envelopes and going to the post office, and you know, we've been we're having a great time, man, because it's on us. And you know, it's fun to watch it grow, Tim. I put out my first proper solo record 2 years ago, right after I left Black Star Writers, decided I wanted to just focus on my own thing. And it's been incredible, brother, to see how it's taken several steps up. you know, for battle lessons from where we were 2 years ago. You know, there's absolutely been progress. And, you know, man, if I can do that and take care of my family and still get to play music and chase this thing that I've been chasing my whole life, that would just be, it's already a great life, you know? You know, my daughter got really freaked out about the coronavirus, you know, and she's like, Dad, you know, you're getting older. We can't afford for you to get sick. I said, well, I love you for saying that. If I get sick, I'm going to shake it off. Even if I were to not shake it off, you're going to be just fine. And I'm going to be just fine because I've had a great, great life, an incredible life. The life I dreamt of, Tim, as a kid, 19 years old, listening to those Van Halen records. It all came true, man. It all came true. So
It's beautiful, bro.
I
Damon,
appreciate
so
you.
beautiful.
Thank you, man.
Like when I hear you say that, my heart melts, you know, and I have so much happiness for you.
Thank you, Tim. Well, that's cool of you, man. Listen, I'm so happy that our paths crossed today. Kudos to my team, the girls, Melissa and Michelle. They've been crushing it, man.
Amazing.
So I'm glad
Amazing.
that they hooked us up, man. And listen, all the best to you and your family. And we got family in California ourselves, man. We are dying to get back out there. We miss it so much.
It's amazing out here, but oh my God, you know, the way that they're handling this situation, it's probably not for the best, the long-term best.
It's crazy times, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy times. So we just need to keep listening and keep working and do the best we can to look out for each other.
Amen.
I believe that if we do that, man, we're going to get through this.
I believe that as well. My man,
Right
thank
on, my
you
friend.
so much. Damon, thank you so much for your time. And it's been an amazing conversation. Thank you so much.
Tim, you too, brother. Take care. I'll see you soon. All right.
We'll see each other.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.